As I mentioned, we've prepared a discussion today to kick things off around the role of technology and artificial intelligence in legal operations, big buzzword there, really with a focus on leveraging those emerging technologies for managing outside counsel spend. My name is David Garber. I'm one of the strategic account managers here at Mitratech, and also head up the MBR business development operations, our managed bill review program. And I'll be co-hosting today's initial session. I'm also joined by MBR's Director of Implementation and Program Management, Ms. Lisa Parker. We're both excited to have you all here with us today. And again, thank you for your active participation in this, as well as our other series of webinars that we host. Some of you also may be familiar with our regional user groups, as well as our annual client conference Interact, which will be in Dallas mid-April in 2025. So we'll end on a positive note today on that. I would love to see you all there. So one more time, thank you again as we explore how Mitratech's technologies are really transforming the way that our clients, their legal operations are optimizing costs, managing external vendors, law firms, and again, we'll get things started today with a discussion around how we're seeing clients leveraging those technologies to optimize outside counsel spend and utilize tools and services that bolster their AI initiatives and truly puts into work those investments they've made. So to start, kind of wanted to set the stage by discussing the current environment that our clients, and likely many of you, are navigating. In today's complex legal landscape, managing outside counsel has become increasingly challenging. I don't think that it's a particularly new headline, as I think everyone is familiar with the current environment of inflation, rate increases, some of those significant after years of stagnation, rising legal costs. But now we're seeing more and more focus moving towards more stringent compliance around billing guideline requirements, staffing engagements, the needs for higher levels of transparency with vendors. And legal departments are under immense pressure to not just manage, but truly optimize those expenditures and overall organizational legal spend. Another trend we're seeing is the emergence of corporate AI initiatives or operative AI enablement within their organizations. So a recent poll actually conducted by Gartner highlights that nearly 2/3 of legal departments plan to increase their spending on technology over the next 3 years, with a significant portion of that investment is focusing on those AI and automation tools. And I think this really reflects a broader trend across industries where organizations are recognizing the need to leverage technology to drive efficiency and accuracy and cost savings. And more than that, how they can centralize, consolidate, and streamline those systems in a highly integrated approach. What we're hearing from clients as well is when they talk to us about navigating their legal expenses and managing those operations across various industries, is that the primary challenge isn't just volume of legal work, but the complexity of really managing that work across multiple law firms, jurisdictions, practice areas. So those traditional methods of bill review, often manual, time-consuming, and typically not done in some level of uniformity or rigor, are really no longer sufficient. There's really a growing demand for solutions that not only streamline the bill review process, but also provide deeper insights into spending patterns, trends, compliance with billing guidelines, and those custom KPIs metrics we use to evaluate the performance of outside counsel. So how do we bridge that gap? If our organization, for instance, is already leveraging world-class technologies, which I assume if you're on today's call, you probably are. So where do we find the shortcomings? Kind of inherent in that, or what really leads us to naturally consider, is the client's processes and the people who manage them. So in a moment, I'll hand it over to my co-host, Lisa, who will kind of delve into those topics a little bit more, and how Mitratech is integrating technology, people, and processes to elevate our clients' capabilities. So by doing so, we're not just enhancing data accuracy and governance, but we're enabling AI and providing more robust and advanced analytics. So when we employ our comprehensive solution, that combination results in cost savings, increased compliance from from law firms, uniformity in legal invoice review and analysis of legal spend or spend performance. And it really empowers AI to draw on our comprehensive book of business as well. That portfolio or book of business we use provides precise apples to apples benchmarks against the performance indicators our clients use to evaluate their firms, as the data has been processed in a meticulous and uniform fashion across the spend that we support. So as we've been in production now for that process for years, decades at this point, billions of dollars in legal spend, we're now finding that the AI specific to items like categorization of spend activities and fees has almost entirely supplemented any additional scrutiny to that line level task assignment in the manual way. So, however, we still employ legal professionals along the process to ensure accuracy and a comprehensive approach in our processes for legal spend management. So there's really, I think, a art and science to the right blend for that level of comprehension. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa Parker here, and she's going to walk through and discuss the kind of the role of technology and how they bolster those efforts, again, in managing legal expense further with our clients. And Lisa, you can feel free to just crack the whip when you're ready for me to turn the page on a slide, but I'll let you have at it.
Awesome. Thank you, David. I appreciate the introduction and being welcomed into the fold as somebody typically on the front lines. As David mentioned, I am over implementations and program management. I was previously over client solutions. So I had the opportunity to work directly with clients to identify gaps in their processes, making those processes more efficient, which ultimately led to cost savings. And as David had already mentioned, it's a very complex environment, but even on the front lines, the question that I heard repeatedly was, how am I doing? And that's what Plato BI helps to answer. So AI on its broadest level is about learning and understanding and acting. What Plato BI does aggregates all of the information that we've acquired through the invoice IQ system. So we have some machine learning to look at those lines to help apply compliance review to ensure that your billing guidelines are adhered to, as well as categorization. So all of those line entries are run through to look for keywords so that we can identify in plain language the work that's being performed by counsel. And as all of that is aggregated, you see, how are you doing? How did I do last year compared to this year? How are my timekeeper rates? I often get those questions about, are they worthy of that increase? What are my outcomes like? All of that is available to you at your fingertips on the Plato BI dashboard. Again, it's to give you that big picture. You're also able to dig into the various pieces of this, specifically at the law firm level, to help you really identify some performance metrics and compare firm over firm, which firm is working in the most time-effective and cost-efficient way for you. You're also able to quickly identify through trends in this particular page and its various tabs that if there's any anomalies that can take quick action. Again, you have all of that information at your fingertips. And David, if you'll take us to the next slide. That aggregated information married in with the categorization and benchmarking really helps you to move the needle in a bigger way. And that analytics that's available to you, not just for how I'm doing in my own world, it's how am I doing compared to my peers. And this information through the managed bill review process gives you that opportunity to see where you sit in the industry. Similar situated cases, similar situated states, you're following the same rules and the same guidelines, same regulations. How are these firms compared to each other? And then how is my whole company compared to the industry? And ultimately in that operational change, you'll see some reduced costs, a decrease in cycle times, and then ultimately lowering your risk. So what you'll see in front of you is how we are able to aggregate the data that was pulled from the legal spend invoicing submitted to us by counsel. We then pull in the rates and show you the time billed by position. And then in the bottom half, you'll see where that categorization engine did run so that we can start to see, even at a more tailored level, where are they spending their time? Is it emails, communications? Are they really in court or actively getting to court so that we can finalize this and reduce our risk by reducing our inventory? So those are two ways in which managed bill review can help you really find those solutions and reduce that legal spend within your organization. Thank you for letting me highlight that, David.
Absolutely. So just to kind of recap, looking at the outcomes of what a comprehensive spend management program can bring, clearly cost efficiency, through a streamlined billing process, having a robust AI-driven and professional review, coupled with proactive law firm management, surely should lend itself to reduced outside counsel spend, but really in driving more towards the problem, not the symptom, enhancing the compliance from those firms. Of course, when we have that front end data governance, and one of the kind of takeaways I think from this initial session here is that we do this rigorous front end review process, not to be aggressive or create animosity with our firms, but really to gain better data governance on that front end to drive better insights on the back end. As AI initiatives are kind of developing out there, one of the key elements to that is the data being processed. Where are these, for generative AIs, hallucinations coming from, or when it's ML learning capabilities or natural language processing? What is that language model it's learning off of? How detailed is it? What are the nuances and the distinctions that it's using to kind of aggregate, anonymize, and apply that syntax? And really, it starts with having uniformity and structured data on the front end. So kind of back to that mantra where that gap is, where we might have state of the art, bleeding edge technologies, it really is only as powerful as the processes and people that we put behind it.